Sup, my name is Ray for the TheYugiohCouncil, and this is Guide to Your Side on Zing, and today we are focusing just on this deck and how to side against it. Now, if there's a deck you're having trouble with, make sure to request the Guide to Your Side down in the comments below, and I will make sure to do my research and get every card that you could use against the deck. So, let me know what you think about these cards and what cards you use to side against Zing, or as a Zing player, what cards you hate to see, because it does help the community when it comes to making better players. And I think that's always a great thing, is that players can enjoy the game a little bit more if they have a little easier time going against certain decks. Okay, so we start with Macros Cosmos, and the main reason we start with Macros Cosmos is because they're all battle floaters. They have to be destroyed by battle or blown up. They're just floaters. So once they hit the graveyard, their effects are going to trigger. They're going to be sent. They're going to get you the next one. So how do you stop that? You basically don't allow them to hit the graveyard. You say fuck you and get banished. Now Dark Law also works in the same scenario. So if your deck can make Dark Law, you have a great matchup against Zing right away, and you could just side in. That does hurt a good chunk of the game right now. Is Dark Law. So Macros Cosmos, Dark Law, they both work. Just keep that in mind. Macros Cosmos just poops on the deck. No disrespect, it really does. And it will also help you against Neclots to a point if you can get, their board off. Otherwise than that, Macros Cosmos God tier. And it also allows Vanity's Emptiness to just constantly stay up. Think about that, you'll understand it. Moving on, we have Debunk. Now, why Debunk? When a monster effect is activated from the hand or the graveyard, negate the activation. If you do, banish it. So this also helps you against Max C. But that's not what we're going after. What we're going after is we're going after Zing. And by going after Zing, well, we're going after the graveyard effect. So basically it just banishes out. It's a counter trap. So there's really not too much that's going to stop it. Wiretap is not seeing huge amounts of play right now. Trap Sun would probably be the more favorable thing. If anything of that sort's going to be seeing play. So Debunk is super duper good. Now at the same time, this also hits the hand trap, as I said. So if you have problems with Max C, this is going to be super helpful to you. So keep that in mind. It works great against Zing. But I like this the best. Different Dimension Ground. This turn, any monster sent to the graveyard is removed from play instead. So pretty much you could just swarm the board. Say you're playing Black Wings, flip this up, take out all their monsters, and then they lose them permanently. Because the deck has no way of bringing them back unless the deck is playing DD Burial. Different Dimension Burial. So this basically allows you to say you don't get to play Yu-Gi-Ohs in a way, and basically I'm going to take everything you have and send it to the graveyard. Now, if these hurt your deck for whatever reason, or it just doesn't suit your playstyle, if your deck's able to summon this boy, Armades, then just do it against Zing. It is one of the best cards to use against them because it just stops their effects from going off. And it basically allows you free attacks. So this is you basically going to play super slow, but hey, you can get over the deck. So Armades allows you to attack in, take out their monster, not have to worry about effects going off, and obviously you can use it against 20 other decks, and it does just as extremely well. Vanity's Emptiness, I pretty much figured this goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway in case anyone feels I'm leaving it out. The deck special summons super heavy. The deck cannot play Vanity's Emptiness for that reason. Play it against it. You should be able to play the one. Then we have Vanity's Fiend. Same kind of scenario. It's giant big. You just got to watch out for the back row. If your deck's like mine, the Chaos Dragons, you just play the Royal Decree with it. No special summons. No trap cards. It's going to help against the matchup unless they have Book of Moon, which hopefully they would. Majesty's Fiend as well. Monster effects cannot be activated. This will stop the deck right dead in its tracks, as well as Vanity's Fiend. So if you're a Monarch player, you could play both of these. I know Monarch players are probably playing Majesty's Fiend already, so that pretty much goes without saying. Another one is Fairy Wind for the back row, for the creation, for the skill drain, for all those things that are going to be a pain in the butt. You're not going to see it too often. That's pretty much what you want to focus your MSTs on. But otherwise than that, Fairy Wind is another great option. Fiendish Shane's also in the deck, so you can utilize it on that too. And then basically they'll take a little bit of damage, and it'll hurt them quite a bit. Then we have Ring of Destruction, which is seeing massive play. I got a little tongue twisted. It's early in the morning. So why does Ring of Destruction work is the question. Well, it destroys the monster. and then it does burn damage. Since it does the burn damage after it destroys a monster, the Yang Zing misses timing. It's a very basic key thing, and make use of it. Trust me, it does actually work. It's hilarious, and it will basically just allow you to say, hey, that's a nice sync where you're trying to go for a blow. And if you hit the little light one that has 0 attack, then you're not going to get any life point damage, and they won't get a synchro. Or you hit the darkness, same kind of thing. You understand where I'm going with that. Ring Destruction's godly against it. Make sure to use it. Another one of my favorites is Banisher of the Radiance. This is also another anti-meta card. Works against Infernoids that are upcoming. It works against Neclots. It works against random Lightsworn decks that I know a lot of people are seeing right now in Dev Pro. I've experienced it. Also works against Sylvans, about 30 other things. So this is one of the better cards you can run against the deck. Try it out. It may work for you. It's basically a walking Macros Cosmos that's not limited, and it's also fairy. So keep that in mind. Some decks can actually abuse the shit out of that. Alright, so then we get up to Fossil Dyna, because Fossil Dyna is just so good for one straight reason. It's basically a walking Vanity's Emptiness. I've always told people to run it when they couldn't get Vanity's Emptiness. It's a great card, and you can basically just free attack and they can't do shit unless they have traps, which then you play Fairy Wind, Royal Decree, blah blah blah. I've actually used Fossil Dyna against Infernoids, and I used it in my heroes in a side deck. I think you've seen it in the videos. You can get a glance at it. Since I play back row like Mirror Force and stuff, I could basically utilize this guy, drop him, and not have to worry about it. Now against something like Fire Fist, they're gonna be able to jump over that. And against something like Shadows, they may have a little bit easier time because of the dragons. So keep that in mind. If you're playing this against everything, it's not always gonna work. You gotta know your matchups. Simple as that. You gotta know your matchups. This rage stomps quite a few decks. And then I'm just going to mention Dimensional Fissure, so no one could say I didn't mention Dimensional Fissure. Same thing as Macros Cosmos. Any monster sent to the graveyard, it's not going to get its effect. There you go. 1, 2, 3, done. In all seriousness, thank you guys for the continued support on the channel. I'm going to try to bring you the greatest content I possibly can every single day. I'm ready for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.